Hey folks, Guns Gear on target training out here in Oregon. Before we get started, if you enjoy our content, please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Today, we're going to be talking about one of my all-time favorite pistols. This is the 1.0 M&P 9mm with a 4.25 inch barrel. The gun has crossed over 20,000 rounds now. I've had it for many years and I've just shot the heck out of it. What did I do, to change the gun from what it was? Well, I had BG Gunworks do his magic with the trigger here. So I now have a 4.5 pound break on this trigger that, there's some take up, right? You typically get, and then a very clean break. It's right there. Very quick reset. So for the type of trigger it is, like a range gun, it's outstanding. It's really fantastic. I also had BG Gunworks put in and fit the Apex grade 9mm, which helped a little bit from an accuracy standpoint, but I think because it's specifically fitted to the gun, it's really the reliability and accuracy is phenomenal. Also a high vis sight on the front and I just took the rear sights of this gun and I just put in some black Sharpie and I just colored them in. So now I have black on the rear and I have that really bright green fiber in the front. So why do I like this pistol so much? Well, partially because I've shot so many rounds through it, it feels like home base. But the other thing that really makes a difference to me is the ergonomics of the M&P pistols. So a couple of things to note, especially on the first generation, right? They had this beavertail, which is great for me because you can get way up into the tang there, and that helps me mitigate some recoil because I can get a really aggressive high tang grip. The other thing is the low bore axis. That's important, similar to a Glock, right? The lower that bore axis, the less muzzle flip you're typically going to experience and less felt recoil. So it's easier to get shots back on target. You can see I added a little bit of grip tape here, the skateboard grip tape, just because I wanted a little bit more and I didn't want to stipple the whole thing. That works well for me, just a couple of pieces of skateboard tape. It's not pretty, but it works well. Like I said, probably over 20,000 rounds through it. Replace the recoil springs every 10,000 rounds, so I just did it again. The gun is 100% reliable. The only time there's been any kind of stoppage had to do with the ammo that I was shooting. So it was either my reloads where I didn't seat the primer all the way because I load for volume, not necessarily for quality, or where I was shooting some really crappy factory reloaded ammunition and I got several hundred rounds of this stuff for really cheap, and I understand why it's so cheap because it wasn't reliable in any gun. But other than that, the pistol has been incredibly reliable, incredibly consistent. And the folks that I know who shot this pistol, like, I didn't realize, you could, an M&P. Well, I think M&Ps are often not recognized, and they should be. Many people now are familiar with the latest version, the M&P 2.0 metal frame. And the new trigger system they have in that in many of their guns. It continues to be an improvement. However, what they did is they chopped off, essentially on the new 2.0 pistols, they chopped off that beaver tail. It kind of bothers me because the frame itself was perfect as it was. So if you're thinking about, well, is my polymer frame handgun really going to be that durable? Well, most people are not putting 20,000, 25,000 rounds through it unless they're a competitive shooter or an instructor or someone just has a huge passion for shooting. Most people are not going to do that. But it is nice to know that you can get an extremely high round count out of this gun. And I feel like this gun is just broken in now, right? It just goes out there, shot a bunch, probably 200 rounds yesterday at the range. Great reliability. great. I mean, it was easy. I was ringing steel at 35 yards, no problem whatsoever, just easy. And that's because the pistol is well made. It has great ergonomics, and I know it very well. So for those of you who have not shot an M&P pistol, you might want to check it out. Especially, there are some great deals now on police trades. And one of the things you can do is you could buy a police trade 40, get a 9mm barrel for that, and be able to shoot either caliber, right? You're going to have to get 9mm magazines, but that's a really inexpensive way to get a really fine pistol. Well, folks, that's the update on the M&P 1.0 9mm pistol. It's been absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. Thanks so much for watching. Finally, and as always, stay safe. So basic uplook press drills from 3, 5, 7, 10. Kept them all in with a few when I was really pressing the speed limit here, a little bit here and here, but the rest of them, not bad.